Good morning, one and all. Today we are going to continue with the chapter of sociology. These are the following contents of this lecture. They are: what is society, what are the structural aspects of society, and what are the functional aspects of society. These are the parts of the sociology. As you know, socio means society, that is logos means study of, science of. Study of science of sociology or society is known as the part of sociology. A man who can live without society is either a beast or a god. This was said by Aristotle, who has named society in simple terms. Society may be defined in simple as an organization of member agents. It is a system of social relationships between individuals. The character of society is dynamic, it changes over time and place. Definitely, every time there will be changes in the character of a society, because according to the condition he might change. Sociologists define society as a system of uses and procedures of authority and mutual aid of many groups, coupled with division of control of human behavior and liberty. So it is a division of the control in the human behavior and the liberty, which has been seen in so many groups according to the authoritative and the mutual aid procedures. As a result, the mortality rates have been brought to low levels and the life expectancy at birth has soared to very high levels, because there is a change according to time and according to the space where there are changes of the mortality rates even itself, that is, it became low and the birth rates became high. What are the structural aspects of a society? There are three structural aspects. One is social institution. It is a social structure and machinery through which the human society organizes, directs, and executes the multifarious activities required to satisfy human needs. Example are school, hospital, parliament, etc. are the things that come under social institution. For example, as if I said, a school is a group of things that is organized with a common characters. So family is also a social institution. It is named as a social institution because it organizes, directs, and executes so many types of activities. Might be the job, might be the activities in the home, or whatever the things that is. For example, the parents might be a job holders, schools, the children might be going to the school. So many things are there in the social institution. The second one is community. It is defined as a group, small or large, living together in such a way that the members share or one or more specific interest, but rather the basic conditions of a common life. So they might have a different specific interest, but they might have lead a common life. That is, people living in a residential layout might be the persons who might be in a small or large group where they might be having different characters are different interests, but they are leading a common life. This is known as community. Association. What is association? This is the third part of the structural characteristics. They are group of people united for a specific purpose or a limited number of purposes and are based on the utilitarian interest. That is like our groups, like the Indian Dental Association, Dentist Association, Medical Associations, or some more associations where there might be a group of people of the specific purpose with a limited number of purposes. Specific purpose might be there or a limited number of purposes might be there, but they might have a common utilitarian interest. That is, for example, as a dentist, we are going to treat the patients, we are doing service to the people. That is one of the types of association. What are the functional aspects of society? There are social norms. That is the first one. They are the rules that a group uses for appropriate values, beliefs, and behavior. These rules may be explicit or implicit. Failure to stick to the rules can result in severe punishments, that is, the most feared of which exclusion from the group. That is, if they do any mistake, definitely they might be executed. That is, they might be sent off. That is, the rules that might be formed in the norm of social norms. Social norms indicate the established and approved ways of doing things, of dress, of speech, and of the appearance. These may vary through time, age group, between social classes, and social groups. There are three types of norms. They are folkways, mores, and taboos. According to the informal norms of culture of the mountainous, this is an example of the Asian kingdom of Bhutan. People greet each other by extending their tongues and hands. That is, this type of norm is being followed in the kingdom of Bhutan. What are folkways? American sociologist William Graham Sumner is credited with the coining of the term folkways in his monumental work. Folkways is a study of sociological importance of manners, customs, mores, and morals in 1907. Folkways are a pattern of conventional behavior in a society. Norms are that apply to everyday matters. They are the conventions and habits learned from childhood. In Indian culture, folkways including welcoming guests with respect, that is, Atithi Devo Bhava, is one of the folkways methods. So we are been respecting the guests who come to our house or to our country. What is mores? They are norms or customs which express fundamental values of society. Mores derive from the established practices of a society rather than its written laws. They consist of shared understandings about the kinds of behavior likely to evoke approval, disapproval, toleration, or sanction within a particular context. That is, they express the fundamental values of a society. Breaking a folkway is likely to turn heads of passerby, but breaking a more will offend observers and possibly bring punishment. If folkways has been misguided or if they are breaking, that is according to the fundamental values that might be not been following, okay, they might turn the heads according to it, but breaking a more definitely lead to the punishment. This is one of the pictures showing that the sociologist Ian Robertson illustrated the difference between folkways and mores. A man who walks down a street wearing nothing on the upper half of his body is violating a folkway. A man wearing nothing on the lower half of his body violating is one of the mores. So definitely it is a public issue which is making, so he will be punished. Or if he does not wear a shirt, that is nothing problematic, but without wearing a pant or a short definitely leads to the public problem. So if you should follow the mores, definitely. What is taboo? It is a strong social prohibition or ban against words, objects, actions, or discussions that are considered undesirable or offensive by a group, culture, society, or community. Breaking a taboo is usually considered objectionable and or abhorrent. Some taboo activities or customs are prohibited by law and transgressions may lead to severe penalties. So definitely we should be taking consideration of our words or whatever things we have been making in the group, culture or society or community. Example, absenteeism, that is from beef, pork and smoking in Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs respectively. That is, we have been having our own taboo that the Hindus might not touch the beef or the Muslims does not touch the pork and Sikhs avoid smoking. These are the taboos that has been made from past onwards. And next to the structural or functional habits, of the society are the customs and the habits. Customs refer to practices that have been repeated by a number of generations, practices that tend to be followed simply because they have been followed in the past. Customs have a traditional, automatic, and mass character because they are being followed from past onwards. Habits are habituated routines of behavior that are repeated regularly, tend to occur subconsciously, and tend to occur without directly thinking consciously about those behaviors. A habit is purely personal affair, not entitling any obligation. That is, smoking a cigarette after the dinner might be a habit, but there are certain things due to the personal things. Etiquettes and conventions. Etiquette is a code that governs the expectations of social behavior according to the contemporary conventional norm within the society, that is, social class or group. Etiquette is dependent on culture. What is excellent etiquette in one society may shock the other. So, there might be things of both positives and negatives. For example, Western culture. In the picture showing that they will be using the forks or the knives, but in Indian culture we will be using the hand for eating. A convention is a set of agreed, stipulated, or generally accepted stands, norms, or criteria, often taking the form of a custom. A convention may retain the character of an unwritten law or custom. That is, we will be following that. That is, one of the culture or one of the custom might be is shaking hands or congratulating each another is one of the Western culture. But according to ours, we will be keeping the namaste. Or by becoming a law or regulatory legislation may be introduced to formalize or enforce the convention. That is, definitely we will be following according to the regulatory approach, like the laws, like the traffic rules, for example, that is wearing the helmet or wearing seat belt or follow the rules of the traffic. That is definitely a regulatory legislation. And the last one is the social values. Value refers to those standards of judgment by which things and actions are evaluated as good and bad. Personal values evolve from circumstances with the external world and can change over time. Values influence people's behavior and serve as criteria for evaluation the actions of others. The values identify those objects, conditions, or characters that members of the society consider important, that is valuable. For example, Americans traditionally prize success through individual effort and initiative. Japanese emphasize collectivism and loyalty to the company. So there have been two different ways of the values that is being promoted by the cultures. Norms are rules for behavior in specific situations, which values identify what should be judged as good or bad. It is the norm that no man should be differentiated in terms of sex, caste, color, or creed while practicing the art of medicine. The value behind is all men are born free and equal, or all women are born free and equal. So, by this, we are going to conclude the second lecture of sociology. Thank you.